And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the Virginia is for Racing Lovers 150. It's race number 4 of the PCSRA Autozone Amateur Series as we're coming to you live from the Richmond International Raceway as we're getting ready for 150 laps of racing. We have not seen these drivers since our last race, which was the road course of Golden State. So these drivers are ready to go back short track racing. As we were supposed to be going to Talladega, but due to the fact that I did some test racing and the racing was kind of strung out and all that, yada, 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 it was not going to provide some good racing. So I said, let's go to Richmond International Raceway and lower the AI rating down, which I have it down to 103 to see if that will fix the little issue. So, yeah. Nally Fisher sits on the pole position for this evening's event. As Nally Fisher looking to, let's see, she comes into this race, Nally Fisher, 12th in the points after losing 5 spots last time out. The 35, that would be driven by Pete Ramirez in the 35. Pete Ramirez comes into this race. She is all the way down to 29th in the point standings in that race. Blake Morris, row number 2, alongside Natasha Drummond. Blake Morris, 35th in the point standings. Natasha, Natasha Drummond, that's who I was thinking of. Natasha Drummond is 33rd in the point standings. Here's a look at your points, by the way. So, yeah. So these drivers looking to get something going. Let me look and see who was your most recent winner. That was Carolina Bradley was your most recent winner of this series last time out at Golden State. And we're going to go ahead and get these drivers off.
People work weekends anyway, most of them, so it's not like they're off on weekends.
So Ben Carpenter is still your points leader by 18 points over Ingrid Pollard as the cars are rolling off behind the pace car. Michael Anderson third, Stephanie Carlson fourth, Luca Rosso in fifth. Then there's Jennifer Powers, Daisy Flowers, Marcus Sellers, Alex Winters, and Lucas Albon. That is your top 10 in the points. All presented by Golden Corral. A lot of times when we come to Richmond, drivers have a tendency to try to get to the bottom of the racetrack and ruffle some feathers. We're going to see how this race is going to go here at this track of Richmond. Here we go. 150 laps of racing. Green flag is in the air. We're racing tonight under the lights from Richmond. And if you're hearing a little boom in the background, just ignore that. And caution's out already, and that's Drake Robertson who got spun to the inside retaining wall. Qualified 21st. It looks like he was the first victim and he got male abuse. Or did he get loose? Looks like he got loose. In the 18 of Amy Pruitt spins the 48 around. No harm, no foul. The 48 will continue on its merry little way. Nally Fisher waiting for the pace car. And now we are going to go ahead and get you the restart. Looks like everybody did take the green. Forgot to show you the starting grid. Here's the rest. Had some drivers near the rear of the field that were running well in points. So there you go. So now that we've shown you the points, the starting grid, I won't have to put it down in the description. As we have just gotten the 1 to go signal. These drivers can go 132 laps, so more than likely we're going to have to see some pit stops here in tonight's race. Nobody out of the race. Natasha, Natalie Fisher, Blake Morris, Esther Roberts, Pete Ramirez, and Angela Thornburg. That is your top 5. Green flag back in the air. Esther Roberts going to go underneath Blake Morris for second. Esther has had a struggle. Won the season opener at Daytona, but ever since Daytona, she has fallen like a rock. She went from leading the points all the way down to 23rd in the points. Looking for a bounce back turnaround. And she needs one badly. Of course, remember, this series does not do a playoff system. Keep that in mind for those of you wondering. As my hand got in the way because I was trying to get to my charger. If I can get to my charger. There we go. Sorry about that. I was down to 72, so I'll go ahead and charge my laptop. Caution's out for the second time tonight. Zach Lambert was involved. He's got some rear end damage to his Toyota. Let's see what happened to Zachy. Our second caution looks like an incident on the back straightaway. And it looks like an incident coming off turn. Nope, Zach Lambert got loose. So that's 2 wrecks. That was not Amy Pruitt's fault because the first one was loose. Lambert tried to save his car, and when he did, Amy Pruitt was there. So that will not count as male abuse. That will just count as you're just carrying so much speed off turn number 2. You're trying to keep the car under control. And it's almost like what we saw at Golden State, or not Golden State, at our other short track, which was Castle Gorge. That's what it was. I had to think. It's becoming like almost like Castle Gorge, where you're trying to keep it together, and unfortunately you can't keep it together, and that's really the unfortunate part. 57 is a lap down. That's Paul Walker. Not sure what the problem was. Either he had a problem or something mechanical, but he is a lap down. And on that inside line, green flag coming back in the air. We're back to racing. '73 brought them down really, really slowly that time. And now Blake Morris is going to take the race lead. If Paul Walker can get a caution, he'll get back on the lead lap. Of course, aerodynamics don't mean much here on a short track. Especially Richmond. There's Tina Jones in the 36. Looks like she's going to try to go underneath Blake Morris for the race lead. Not even 20 laps in the race. We've already had 2 yellows, but that's kind of not surprising. There's Esther in 3rd, pole sitter Natalie Fisher 4th, and Alyssa Albon in the 5th spot. Alyssa Albon lost 8 spots, fell all the way down to 31st in the points last time out at Golden State. She's trying to bounce back. Peach Ramirez under attack by Jennifer Power. Daisy Flowers in 8th, Liliana Batta in 9th. And 10th is Ben Carpenter, your points leader. And Liliana Batta made her Truck Series debut 2 weeks ago, or last time out at... I'll have to look at the schedule. Last time out at Rockingham, North Carolina. That 57 is going to be a troublemaker. Check the back of the field here. Drake Robertson. There's your most recent winner, Carolina Bradley, but she's all the way back here in the 33rd position. Marcus Sellers. There's Zach Lambert, brought our second yellow. That's Kevin Lambert. Yep, that was Kevin. Right in front of Kevin is Ariel Moore. Dan McAllister losing a spot to Blake Peppers. Peppers has got some rear end damage on his Ford. I think a little stack up there. There's Stephanie Carlson. Luca Rosso, who also has made a truck start this year. Patrick Combs in the 69. Patrick Combs is running full-time in trucks, but in danger of losing his spot. Ina Cambridge there losing a spot to Tommy Montgomery. Angela Thornburg losing a spot to Aaron Hornish. Alex Winters, there's Amy Pruitt. Speaking of Amy Pruitt, she's expected to make her Truck Series debut sometime soon. Ingrid Pollard, Ryan Madison, Mark Thatcher. Dylan Jacobs made his debut 2 weeks ago at Rockingham, North Carolina. Or Dalton Jacobs. And Blake Morris has just put the 57 back a lap down. Don't know if the 57 made an unscheduled pit stop or not, but whatever the case, that is a tough break for him.
That was kind of disappointing.
Paul Walker, 27th in the points. Definitely did not need a bad run here tonight. But Esther Roberts definitely needed a turnaround. Like I said, ever since Daytona, she has went from leading the points to 23rd. She has lost 22 points, or 22 spots, excuse me, in the last couple of races. Of course, remember, this is race number 4. So while we're watching this battle for the lead, an update on the point standings. As I said, the top 5 drivers: Ben Carpenter, Ingrid Pollard, Michael Anderson, Stephanie Carlson, and Luca Rosso. If the season were to come to an end today, they would be the 5 drivers moving up to the Truck Series next year. Paul Walker has moved out of the way of Esther Roberts, but for how long? LaSalle Bonnet in 3rd. 4th is Tina Jones, and 5th, Liliana Batta. You can go away, there's Virus. Good run for Liliana Batza. You can go away. Sorry about that. That virus protector shit had to pop up at the worst times, like, you can go away. Thank you. Sorry about that. Let's pull up our Wendy's race menu. Of course, we're here at Richmond. Next time out, we'll head to another short track, Bristol. That'll be the same weekend. We will have the Monster Energy Series drivers. Of course, they're in Nashville tonight. And tomorrow night, we'll cap off the race weekend as we're at Nashville. Next week, it's Monster Energy only. As we head to Dover. Then we'll have Darlington, then Papyrus. And then we'll have these drivers, the Autozone Amateur Series, join the Monster Energy Series at Bristol. And then we begin the international road trip of Chaudière, Melbourne, and Rio de Janeiro. Because after Bristol, we will not see the Autozone Amateur Series until we go to Hillside. As they're finally getting back into a groove. Of course, remember, they started the season at Daytona at the beginning of this year, the first week of 2023. As Esther Roberts going for the lead. Should also note Patrick Combs is going to be leaving his ride at the end of the year because he's already got a ride in the Truck Series. Unless he loses his charter for next season, he'll be more. And if he does lose his charter, he'll be back down here in this series next year. That's currently the rumor going on. Dan McAllister struggling. There's Greg Robertson. Let's find out where Ben Carpenter, the points leader, is. He's in 27th. The gal who's trying to run him down for the points lead is in 16th place. That's Ingrid Pollard. Where is third in points? Michael Anderson. He's 21st. Cyril Carlson's right there. That's fourth in points. Now, Luca Rosa, where is he? In 23rd. Boy, a lot of drivers coming in running well in points. See where the 43 is. That's Jennifer Power, 14th. Should have the... Let me pull the... Oops. That was not what I want you to do, you darping hyena laptop. And Daisy Flowers is 11th. I believe Daisy Flowers would be the points leader as things stand heading into our next race. That would be Bristol. We already passed the 1/3 mark. We're on lap number 47 of 150. Of course, as I said, we will finish up our weekend. Of course, Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings have already begun their off weeks. Of course, Monster Energy was supposed to have All-Star Race weekend last week, but it was canceled due to well, let's say track issues, I should say. Because of the fact there was more than 42 drivers, the officials decided not to do All-Star Race weekend. And they end up canceling All-Star Race weekend. So there was nothing that happened between Rockingham, North Carolina, and last week. So we have already started now the chase towards the chase. We will have an All-Star Race next year. Don't blame the officials for not having for the All-Star Race situation. As I look at the schedule here, the only time we're going to have the AutoZone Amateur Series start off the weekend will not be until we go to Hillside. Because remember, we'll have Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series having non-charter stuff during the day as our caution's out again for the 3rd time as we went further in this green flag run. Then Charlotte, and then I believe the next time we'll have them will be Knoxville, of course, IRP, Chicagoland, all that, yada, yada. What brought out caution number 3? Lucas Albon, possibly. He gave us race 10th in the points. Yep, he got spun by the 44. That would be Luca Rosso. Looks like Luca just dumped the 01, I think because the race leaders were coming, so should see everybody come to pit road. And looks like everybody's coming to pit road. Of course, the 57 has to stay out because he's a lap car. So everybody can make it now to the end of this race, as we've made it into our fuel window. Now everyone will make it to the end. Looks like Aaron Hornish had a slow pit stop. Esther Roberts, her crew got her out first. Looks like Aaron Hornish will be on the tail end of the lead lap. Gonna hope for a quick caution. Also, we're being told the 3 is a lap down. That would be Angela Thornburg. Apparently a slow pit stop for those drivers. But surprisingly, nobody out of the race from our 3rd yellow tonight. Nice little green flag run. And now Esther Roberts needs to find a way to get to the bottom of the track because we're back to green here at Richmond. Here comes Alyssa Albon in the 5. She's looking for the race lead. As I said, came in this race 31st in the points. This could be a good points day for her. They're 3 wide in the back. 3 wide's okay as long as you're giving each other enough room. I don't know who it was that went 3 wide. They settled it out, though. As Albon leads that lap. As hello, Pacecar, how are you doing tonight? There's Marcus Thatcher. There's Tommy Montgomery there. 07 of Ryan Matt. Caught, I think yellow is out. Yep, yellow is out. 42, Liliana Batz is racked. Dan McAllister involved. This is good for Angela Thornburg, Paul Walker. They're back on the lead lap. Aaron Hornish has been trapped a lap down. Now these two can go all the way around. Not to stop in their pit stalls, because they can make it to the end. But Liliana Bata is the reason for this caution. We're about to find out why. All right, let's see. Wow. She got loose. Nobody made contact with her. It looked like something broke on the car. And nowhere for Dan McAllister in the 63 to go. I mean, you'll see here. She's entering the corner. Right there. Wow, that's strange. All by herself, nothing she could have done. Don't know if she broke an axle going in the corner or not, but it's up break for her. Came as race 18th in the points. Dan McAllister, on the other hand, if I can find Dan McAllister, 26 in the points. It has been a struggling season for Dan McAllister, and looks like, I don't know, I don't want to say this, but I think Liliana Bata's night could possibly be over. Unless they can get her car back out on the track and try to get some points at it tonight. But it looked like to me, when she went into turn number 1, it looked like the rear of the car just stepped out underneath her. And like I said, I don't know if she broke a rear axle or not, but whatever the case, that's a tough break. Looks like she did get back on track. So whatever was wrong, fortunately, got the 63 caught up in it. And she is going to continue. It looks like the officials definitely ruled out a racing deal. Strange you lose the car all by yourself without contact unless something broke on that car. Yeah, because when she went into turn 1, the car just got sucked around. So again, I'm not making an assumption, but it looked like either an axle broke or she got loose. And when she got loose and slid up the track, nowhere for Dan McAllister to go. That was a big break for Angela Thornburg and Paul Walker. They're back on the lead lap. And that was what brought out that last yellow. And nobody's fault, especially Liliana. She was just along for the ride. So I'm definitely not going to put blame on any of those drivers. And all these incidents we've had tonight, you know, drivers were not getting... It's not intentional drivers. It's just the cars are super loose. Especially at night, because you're setting up this race to... Because you start the race loose and you're trying to tighten the car up as we get into a longer run. Some of these drivers must have gotten it way too loose. And that's probably why we're seeing a lot of cautions tonight. Well, we're seeing some good, clean green flag racing. That's pretty what we expected here at Richmond. Stephanie Carlson going to lose that spot to the 0-1 of Lucas Albon. There's Luca Rosso all over the back of Ingrid Pollard. That's second in points, may I point out. Like I said, that's strange to see a car lose control. There's Curtis Glover. Not a bad run for Curtis. Curtis Glover comes as race 16th in the points. He's had an okay start to the season, that 68 machine. One top 5 and one top 10 this season. Jennifer Power came as race 6th in the points. And I believe some drivers ahead of her that were running well in points are going to definitely take a hit in the points. Aaron Hornish, I know, is going to take a hit in the points. That was 13th in the points. Last two races for Aaron Hornish. Had a DNF last time out at Golden State. And now off the lead lap. As we're nearing the halfway point of tonight's race here at Richmond. Of course, our live coverage tomorrow night will be at 7:30 p.m. East or 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Of course, we went green tonight around 8:30 Eastern Time. So it's getting pretty late here in Richmond, which is what we expected. Or actually, let me rephrase that. 7:30 Eastern Time we started this race. I'm sorry. Not 8:30. Talking about the Autozone Amateur Series coming in this weekend is that we're going to have the Autozone Amateur East and West Series next season, which is a good thing. And how that's going to work for next year, for 2024, is that the drivers who finish top 5 in the points for East and West will move up to the Autozone Amateur Series. This series you're watching right here on YouTube as we're past the halfway point of this race. So that will be something interesting. We're going to see a lot of teenagers. And we'll also be seeing them run a lot of short tracks. So that should be something we'll definitely look forward to for next season. Excuse me there. Good run for Marcus Thatcher. 17th in the points, getting ready to pass Tommy Montgomery, who's 28th in points after losing 11 spots last time out at Golden State. Of course, Tommy's brother, Tom Montgomery, Tommy's brother, Todd Montgomery, he is in the Monster Energy Series, and you will see him and the other drivers in tomorrow night's race at Nashville. This is Todd Montgomery's little brother, I should say. And you'll see Todd Montgomery and the other drivers. Natalie Fisher, Alyssa Albon. Leader, by the way, is looks like that 07 of Ryan Madison. 20th in points, has yet to find the top, has not scored a top 5 or top 10 this season. Of course, Michael Anderson came in this race as your rookie points leader, 4 points ahead of Stephanie Carlson. We have, let me see, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. All of the Rookie of the Year, all the drivers running for Rookie of the Year have scored Rookie of the Year points, with the exception of Zach Lambert, who's currently who's in last in points, has not scored Rookie of the Year points. And he's looking like possibly he's going to score some tonight. Zach Lambert's the only rookie driver who has not scored points in the Rookie of the Year honors. And there he is. He brought out an earlier yellow, but he's having a good run since. As I said before, aerodynamics don't mean much. There's Nina Cambridge. If I'm not mistaken, I believe she's the only driver. Yeah, she's the only driver that will be joining me on a plane trip on a Nina Cambridge. Of course, she'll race tomorrow night as we head to Nashville. So she'll join me on a plane trip as we head to Nashville. All the other celebrities like Cody Smart, Nathan Orman, Kyle Langland, Zachary Taylor, etc., they were in the booth earlier today doing practice, qualifying, and happy hour for the Monster Energy Series. Of course, Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings are still off. So Nina Cambridge will definitely look forward to joining me on a plane trip. Of course, all of the AutoZone Amateur Series drivers have been off for a long time, unless they are attempting some Truck Series races. And they didn't get some time off and of course, all of these drivers got some time off, with the exception of Nina Cambridge, who's trying to battle for a spot into the playoffs for the Monster Energy Series. And of course, she's a driver that needs to get a second win to get into that playoffs. And like I said, she'll be leaving the 15 ride at the end of the season, probably going to give it to the champion of the East or West, depending who wins the championship. Of course, this series has 15 races this year, as Natalie Fisher is going to take the race lead. Haven't seen much of Natalie since she took as far as up front, last time we saw her. But what I was getting ready to say was, next year, the AutoZone Amateur Series will have a total of 20 events, whereas East and West for the Amateur Series is to be determined, to be announced. Of course, the Amateur Series season opener will be at Daytona. And all of the drivers, or not all of the drivers, let me rephrase that. All of the series, with the exception of the Monster Energy Series, will be at Daytona. Monster Energy, however, will be in Canada for Canadian Speed Weeks. Of course, we have Daytona Speed Weeks for America. We're going to have Canadian Speed Weeks on top of that. So it's going to be a busy, busy time So what will be in order is that we will have the, and of course, Foster's will debut the next Gen car, the Gen 7. So it will go like this. Monster Energy Series drivers will have their clash up at Ricky Raceway. Then, if I can get my qualifying deal taken care of, we can do Daytona 500 qualifying, as we'll set the grid for the Daytona. As we try to find out who will make the Daytona 500, because remember, we will have 36 chartered rides for that series for Foster's, because they will have a charter system. The only series that will not have a charter system will be the Autozone Amateur Series, Main, East, West, and also the Monster Energy Series drivers, because they're running in tiers for next season. And then, of course, after Daytona 500 qualifying, we'll have Canadian 450 qualifying to see who will start on the pole for the Canadian 450, the Great Canadian Race, as we like to call it. Then Daytona, and then Foster's will have their duels. Monster Energy will also have their duels up in Ricky. So it's like a teeter-totter back and forth kind of thing. And then we will have trucks, or no, we will have the Autozone Amateur Series first, then trucks, then Buffalo Wild Wings, then Monster, and then the Foster Series to cap it all off on Speed Weeks. So that will be interesting. As, of course, we will have the 2024 calendar released to you all very soon. There's Alyssa Albon, Tommy Montgomery in the 60. I talked to Todd Montgomery, Tommy's brother, from Nashville remotely, and I asked Todd, with your little brother racing in the Autozone Amateur Series, do you get nervous as a older brother? He said, yeah, I definitely do, because, you know, I don't want Tommy to fail. I want him to succeed, but I don't want him to fail. Seems to me he wants to make sure his little brother will succeed. Excuse me. Alyssa Albon, Curtis Glover having a good run. But having a lot of green flag runs. Tina Jones more than likely going to take a hit in the points, 15th in the standings. Ingrid Pollard will definitely take a hit. That's second in points. Ben Carpenter not having a good run in 25th. He was your points leader entering tonight. Oh, Pete Ramirez is blown up. And Pete Ramirez did not need a bad run. 29th in points. It looks like we have our first retiree from the race. Took us 108 laps until we had our first retiree. That's a tough break for Pete Ramirez, and sadly her night is going to come to an early end. That's going to be good news for Liliana Bata and Aaron Hornish. They're going to definitely gain some spots. Of course, that's Dan McAllister. Of course, Dan McAllister was involved in our last yellow, a piston failure on the 35. So there's our first retiree of the night, as Pete Ramirez has taken her 35 machine to the garage area. So tough break for her. She'll look to bounce back in our next race at Bristol, another short track race. And Deanne McAllister has officially gone a lap down. Liliana Bata has also passed Peach Ramirez. So Peach Ramirez will officially finish last. And Peach has climbed out of her 35 machine and is going to head off to the showers early. Of course, she's going to have a debrief with her team. Figure out what happened. It's sad to see her engine explode towards the end of the race, so tough break for her. Next car that Natalie Fisher will catch is Tina Jones, but she's all the way in turn number 1. We have 32 on the lead lap, 35 in a race, and of course Peach Ramirez out of the race with an engine failure, so. These drivers have been very careful with one another. After this race, I'm going to get ready to head off to the airport with Nina Cambridge, and then we're going to get to the hotel room at Nashville and call it a night. The good news is that tomorrow night is a night race. Tomorrow's race is a night race, so that's good news. So at least we'll try to get enough rest as we can. Can't wait to call the Monster Energy Series race from Nashville. If I'm not mistaken, Monster Energy has never raced at Nashville, so throw that into the equation of unpredictable. So we don't know what kind of racing we're going to have at Nashville. That's going to be interesting. Wonder if all these drivers saved enough fuel with all these cautions right here. I wonder if all the leaders did enough fuel saving under pacing to make it to the end. Of course, remember, they're on the CTS physics, even though they are running the Gen 6 cars. Natalie Fisher has extended her lead to almost 2 seconds. It's now a little over 2 seconds. Liliana Bata has not fully recovered. Esther Roberts was running up there at the front earlier on tonight, so she must have had something go wrong on that pit stop. Like I said, we're going to definitely have a point shake-up here tonight, leaving tonight's race. Of course, Natalie Fisher fell down 5 spots in her last event. That was back at Golden State. Here she is having a good run here tonight. We're coming up to 25 laps of racing to go here tonight from Richmond. Again, I want to remind you all, tomorrow is the Monster Energy Series race from the Music City, Nashville Super Speedway. As we cannot wait to bring you the division racing from the Music City. The next week, it's only Monster Energy Series as we're going to go from the Music City to the Monster Mile of Dover. As we will run 100 laps each for the Autism Speaks 400, which is the FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks. And Dover's a track that drivers fear of. The Monster Mile. Miles the Monster can't wait to greet the Monster Energy Series drivers. Then we were going to go to Darlington. Of course, Darlington will be, I think the Darlington we went to earlier on in the season would be our Southern 500. I might send Monster Energy to Montreal at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, as we'll go road racing, home of the Canadian Grand Prix. Or send them to Daytona for their summer event, which is the Coke Zero 400. Well, for second, lead's about to get interesting. Marcus Sellers. Let's go on board Natalie Fisher. It's a warm, muggy night here at Richmond. Grandstands are full. Great crowd on hand for tonight's race. 696. Looks like the 60 of Tommy Montgomery is starting to reel in the 73. As we're coming to 15 to go. It's looking like we're going to end up with a good finish and More than likely a shakeup in the points. And I want to correct one thing I said back at Rockingham, North Carolina. I said 6 of the next 7 races. About 5 of the next 7 races will be now Monster Energy only, since I put Richmond on the calendar for the Autozone Amateur Series. So, yeah. Just to get that out of the way. To go. Here comes Tommy Montgomery. Looking underneath the 73. This is for the win, the lead, and possibly the win. Ryan Madison could get involved, and don't forget lap traffic up ahead. I didn't even want to bother changing my glasses. '73 has the quickest lap. Nina Cambridge second fastest. Tommy Montgomery running out of laps and running out of time. There's Cambridge. Here's 2 seconds. 4 seconds back. Here's a battle for the 5th position. It's like Curtis Carolina Bradley having a good run. Lucas Albon. Carolina Bradley moved up 17 spots to 14th in the standings after her win in the previous race. That would be at Golden State. After she struggled at Castle Gorge. So she's definitely bounced back in the short track program tonight. Coming up to 6 laps to go. Of course, Cody Smart and them will have the post-race show from Nashville. Of course, their set's in Nashville. Of course, I have not made it to Nashville yet because I've been here at Richmond watching the Autozone Amateur Series drivers here in the commentating box. 5 to go. Tommy needs to make his move right now. But Tina Jones and company may have something to say. This could definitely be a havoc, and who's going to make it? This could be a big factor. I have 3 laps to go here. Natalie Fisher trying to go from the pole to the victory tonight, as she has caught traffic for the leaders. That's Tina Jones, and that's Blake Peppers, who we still don't know why he's got damage. Here comes Tommy Montgomery. He's going to take a look for the lead. They better clear that traffic, because don't look now, Ryan Madison's coming as we got 2 laps to go. And Tommy Montgomery has taken the lead. Now the 73 finally gets underneath Tina Jones. As we're coming to the white flag, one more lap to go. It's going to be between the 60 and the 73. Here comes the 73 to the inside. This is for the win. 73 is going to get underneath the 60. Side by side down the back straightaway for the last time. It's going to be one of those Richmond photo finishes. Tommy Montgomery, Natalie Fisher. Natalie Fisher's going to win at Richmond by 4/1000ths of a second. What a race. That was a good race. And Natalie Fisher did it from the pole to the victory. 12th in points, will definitely be inside the top 10 in the points, leaving tonight's race. That was a good race, ladies and gentlemen. Very impressed. So Natalie Fisher, your winner. Tommy Montgomery gave it all he could, came up 4/1000ths of a second short, but he'll have to settle for second. Great result for Ryan Madison. He's going to come away in third. Good run for him. Nina Cambridge, fourth. Carolina Bradley. Lucas Albon, sixth. Curtis Glover, Luca Rosso, Jennifer Power, and Zach Lambert's on the board with Rookie of the Year points as he comes away with a top 10. And he came in this race dead last in the points, so he's definitely going to be very happy about this result. He'll definitely move himself through the points table here tonight. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, a lot of drivers running well in points. Not the result. Ben Carpenter, 22nd, came in this race as your points leader. Ingrid Pollard, 25th. She was second in points coming into this race. And Michael Anderson was third in the point standings. I believe, with his 11th place finish, I believe Michael Anderson will take the points lead heading into Bristol Motor Speedway. 31 cars finished on the lead lap. Blake Peppers was the last of them. Tina Jones, Aaron Hornish, Dan McAllister, and Liliana Batta finished one or more laps down, and only one driver finished out of the race. That was Pete Ramirez due to a blown piston on her machine. So it's up right for her. Liliana Batta, ever since getting involved in that wreck with Dan McAllister, just never recovered. Aaron Hornish, whatever happened on that pit stop, he never fully recovered. Tina Jones never fully recovered. She just had a dismal day. So I'm looking here at the points, and it looks like Michael Anderson, who finished 11th, he was only 41 back. He did finish ahead. Finished 11 spots ahead of Ben Carpenter, and he also finished 14 spots ahead of Ingrid Pollard. I believe I'm going to be correct. Michael Anderson will take the points lead heading into Bristol Motor Speedway. But that's going to do it from Richmond International Raceway. I will confirm all of this in just a second. So let's actually go ahead and show you the points. I've already shown you your full finishing results, so yeah. So let's actually confirm that, shall we? Before we sign off. But that will do it for Richmond. And it was Autozone Amateur. It was Richmond, you derping hyena. Do you not know what Richmond is, you drunken hippo? Virginia is for racing lovers 150. 4 cautions, not typical Richmond, but the good thing is we did get some long green flag runs. Alrighty, now the moment of truth. And survey says I'm wrong. Ben Carpenter would take the point, would keep the points lead, but it's down to 8 points. So as here are the points leaving Richmond. Tommy Montgomery moves up 12 spots. He was actually your big winner this week. The big loser is probably Liliana Batta. She fell all the way down 9 spots. Marcus Sellers fell all the way down to 18th in points. And there's the Rookie of the Year standings. Now that Zach Lambert's on the board, all 16 of the Rookie of the Year contenders have now scored points for the Rookie of the Year standings. Michael Anderson still leads the Rookie of the Year points. Now he is 8 points back so far. Our next race for this series will be in a few weeks' time when we go to Bristol Motor Speedway. That's when we will see them and the Monster Energy Series drivers. And that will be in just a few weeks' time. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race from Richmond. If you did, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown you your full finisher results. You're looking at your rookie points and your overall point standings heading into our next race in a few weeks' time from the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum for the Bush's Best 200. Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings have begun their long vacation as we cap off our race weekend with the Monster Energy Series. They're in the state of Tennessee. They're in Nashville, Tennessee, as they will start the chase towards the chase for the championship. It's going to get crazy to see who is going to be the 16 drivers battling for the championship in that series. Then next week, it's just Monster Energy Series as we head to the high banks of Dover International Speedway. That will be fun. Be sure to join the PCSRA Discord. The link will be down in the description as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, I've been Dean DeVille signing off. Good night from Richmond International Raceway. And you have been watching yet another broadcast courtesy of the PCSRA, the best in racing around the world since 2017. Good night from Richmond, everybody.